This is a short video from me, corbettmaths, to say congratulations on getting your paper one done and out of the way. For a lot of you, it may have went really well. For some of you, it mightn't have went as as well as you hoped for. And for the vast majority, I'd imagine, the paper went pretty well to begin with, and then there's a few tricky questions along the way, which is sort of the standard for GCSE maths. The examiners don't want everyone getting 100%. They have to get a few people getting 99%. Okay, now in terms of what to do now, okay, paper one is done. There's nothing you can do about it. If it went well, you need to make sure that your paper two and paper three papers go as well to make sure you get that top grade. And if you feel it went pretty well with a few tricky questions, that means you're probably on course to get the grade that you want. So you need to make sure your paper two and paper three, go as well as and if it didn't go as well as you hoped for, well then your paper two and paper three, they're still to come. Everything's still to play for. So, don't let, if you find the paper, quite hard, don't let that sort of discourage you. I've taught thousands of students over my 12 years teaching maths so far, and what I found is that I have dozens of students every single year that go, oh, that paper one was really tricky, but then they still go on and get top grades, and that's either because one of two things happened. One is the paper didn't go as badly as they thought it had gone, or the second thing that may have happened is that they've really used the resources that are available to help them prepare for paper two and paper three, and use those to really excel on those other two papers. So everything is still to play for, and there's a lot of time. You've got the half-term week now. There's a lot of revision time that you can put in to make sure that you get a really good paper two and paper three result. Now, paper one's come up, and what I've done is I've gone through and looked at the AQA Higher and Foundation, the EdXL Higher and Foundation, and I've looked to see what topics and what questions have come up. So, for instance, if there was a surge question on paper one, then it might not come up in paper two and paper three. If trigonometry didn't come up on paper one, then there's a very good chance it's going to come up in paper two and paper three. If you go onto corbettmaths.com, there are resources called unseen topics papers, or unseen topics, and they are checklists of all the topics which I think either haven't been tested yet or normally would have a bigger profile over the three papers. And I've made checklists for you to help you with your revision. Now, obviously do revise everything, okay? Or recap everything. But this is, if I was revising for my GCSE maths, these would be the topics that I would focus on first before then, recapping the other things as well. On those checklists, you'll see little stars. That's because I really think that topic, has got a very, very good chance of coming up. For instance, on a lot of the papers, there's hardly any work on angles, angles in a triangle, quadrilateral, in a straight line, angles and parallel lines, the alternate corresponding angles and polygons. In my opinion, in a lot of those papers, there wasn't very much angle stuff. So those checklists, if they've got a star, that's something that I would go to first, and I would sort of revise those topics, and then the other ones are, I think they've got a very good chance of coming up as well. As well as the checklist, there's also practice papers. I've made two for everybody. So there's a very high chance and a high chance paper for everyone. The very high chance is questions on all the star topics on the checklist, and the high chance paper is ones without the stars. So they're questions that I think they've got a very good chance of coming up. I've got the mark schemes there as well, or answers there as well, so you can check your work. And then also there's going to be YouTube playlists that are going to be released this evening as well. So there's lots of resources there that will help you target and hone in on the topics which have got a very good chance of coming up. But as I said, everything is still to play for. Don't let, if you think paper one didn't go as well as you hoped for, definitely, really put the effort in, and I promise you that paper two and paper three, will go much better, hopefully. And as I've said, I have taught hundreds of students over the years that have said that paper one didn't go well. I've had a lot of students that said that paper one, paper two, and paper three didn't go well, and they've still ended up with great GCSE grades. So guys, I believe in you. You can definitely do this. Keep up the hard work, and keep sort of checking back on corbettmaths.com for those resources. There's video tutorials. It's the 5 a day, and if you need anything, contact me in this video. Put a comment on, and subscribe as well. But if you can put a comment on, I'll try and get back to you and sort of give you some advice or tips as well. But guys, all the best. I hope it goes well. Do take a day off or two over half term, and get stuck into that maths revision. All the best.